Today, you're going to be starting Lesson 5. Yes, we are skipping Lesson 4 for now. We'll come back to it later on. But Lesson 5 is all about graphics. Lesson 5.1 is about clip art. Graphics such as clip art add emphasis and detail to your text. Businesses can often use these to help present information more interestingly. It can be used on flyers and brochures. Remember that if it's not adding emphasis or something to your documents, whatever kind of document it is, you don't want to use it. Graphics such as clip art are stored on what we call the clip organizer. Things are a little different with Word and the clip organizer and clip art now than they used to be. So first you open a new Word document. You can do that by going to your Start menu, and if you have Word here, you can open it, or you go All Programs, scroll down, Microsoft Office, Microsoft Word. That will take you to Microsoft Word. It should automatically open a new blank document for you. To insert clip art, you click on Insert and Clip Art. Then in the Search For box, when you see your clip art task pane, you search for whatever it is you want to do. If you search for dog, you'll get a lot of different choices, but we really want something that's more of a drawing as opposed to a photograph. Even if you drop down and you change and select or deselect photos, videos, and audio, which you should do, to just have illustrations, which is what clip art is called now, and click Go, you're still going to, for some reason, in the new version, get bunches of photographs, but no real clip art. So what you're going to have to do is go to your browser, go to google.com. You can go ahead and make it your default browser if you want, or you can just say no thanks. Then you're going to type in your search box, dog clip art free. Now, notice how clip art should be one word in the search. You could do free dog clip, whatever. Does not matter how you do it. When you go to one of the websites, either free dog clip art, you want to make sure you're using something that is free and not copyright protected. If it has an image or a watermark on top of it, you can't use it. So, free clip art, then you can click on whatever dog you like, and there's plenty to choose from. Cute little Jack Russell Terrier. And then you can click the free download, and it should download it to your clip art organizer. You can also find a picture, right click, and copy it as you've learned how to do in the past. But remember, you don't want a copyright mark on it. If it has a copyright mark on it, go back and use something that's free. We don't want to have, if you go to images, you'll see lots of different ones. Remember, how do we do that? We right click. We can copy the image in this case and just paste it to our document. Remember now that once you select your picture, you'll see that your picture has the handles. We've done handles before. We have three different kinds of handles. We have our circular handles in the corner, which is the only ones you should ever resize from. So you should resize your graphic from the corners only. Never resize from the sides or the top, because that distorts your image. So that your image stays in perspective, you are going to need to make sure that you use the corner handles only. Now, I'm going to be wanting you to make your graphic approximately 2 by 2 inches. How do you know what 2 by 2 is? If you click on your view ruler, if you don't already have your ruler up here, that is what's going to allow you to judge how big it is. See our marks? Your ruler is measured in inches, so it's about 2 inches wide. It's a little more than 2 inches long, So I want to make it just a bit smaller because I need everything to be in perspective, in the correct perspective. Now, if I tried to move it, I can't move it because the text, the way the text is set up, it's set up so that you can't move your text. It's called in line with text, so that the only way you could move your text would be if you entered or spaced, but we don't want to do that. We want to go click on our Picture Tools Format tab, and we're going to click the drop down for our Wrap Text. We're going to wrap the text tight. Wrapping the text tight allows us to move our graphic anywhere we want on the page. Notice that we have our margins on both sides. Here's our little dog. We want it to be around 2 by 2, but we also need to change the page layout. We've talked about this before. If you click the Page Layout tab, and then you select the orientation, when your page is longer than it is wide or vertical, that's called portrait, and it's the default page layout or orientation. When you click landscape, your page now becomes wider than it is tall or more horizontal. So you're going to want to move your dog to the middle of the page, and you may be wondering what that green circle is for. I'm not sure we had talked about it before. That is called a rotational handle, so that if you want to add something and then put it at an angle, you can. Don't do that for this particular dog. I really want you to have type of drawing. Keep your margins in mind. So your margins right here are that gray area on your ruler. So, and you can see it. If you move your mouse, you get that double-sided arrow to see your bottom margin. So I could move that down some. Don't want to move it all the way down though. So make sure you keep it in the center. Margin is the distance between your text and the edges of your paper when it prints. So if you put something in that gray area, then it may not show up when you print it, and eventually we will be reprinting these. Now you're also going to be asked to insert some things like clouds or airplanes or balloons. Again, you might have to go to Google and search for some good clouds, but when you insert any of these things, you're going to have to always go to the text, wrap it tight so that you can move it and resize it appropriately. You want to make sure that you keep the things that belong at the top of the screen at the top of the screen. Okay? The things that belong at the bottom of the screen at the bottom of the screen. If you need to search for one, you can always try searching for one in your Clipart task pane first. Remember, you're going to wrap your text tight. Notice how it's not really showing up real clear? That's because if there is an issue, just go find a different picture. It's not a big deal. You're going to eventually insert for, you still are going to want to insert your header, your blank 3-column header, where you type your name, block, and the name of the assignment. Word 5-1 Clipart. Don't forget to change this once we start adding to it, because you will eventually start adding to it. Don't forget to look at the samples on the board. Make sure that you're actually reading your text to get the answers. Sometimes you'll have to figure it out. Take things from different places. Make sure you look at all those things, because we are grading all those terms and questions. Make sure you save this correctly. We'll know right up here. Make sure you add your name. Don't forget to capitalize each word. And then submit it on Canvas.